David Carradine walks onto the set of Dragon. The Bruce Lee story, and the actor playing Bruce Lee looks at him with 20 years of borrowed anger. What happens in the next 10 minutes is not a confrontation between two men. It is a conversation between two prisoners, both trapped in the shadow of someone they never met, both carrying a weight they did not choose. Los Angeles, California, March 1993, Tuesday afternoon, 3:30 p.m., Universal Studios, Sound Stage 12, the set of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. The biographical film that will introduce Bruce Lee to a new generation. The film that will make Jason Scott Lee a star. The set today is Bruce Lee's Oakland School, wooden training dummies, mirrors on walls, students in vintage kung fu uniforms, everything designed to look like 1964. Like the world Bruce Lee was building before Hollywood found him. Jason Scott Lee stands in the center of the set, 27 years old, Hawaiian-born, no relation to Bruce Lee despite the shared name. He has spent 6 months becoming Bruce Lee, learning his movements, studying his voice, inhabiting his spirit. It is destroying him. Every morning he wakes up as Bruce Lee. Every night he goes to sleep as Bruce Lee. The character has crawled inside him and refuses to leave. He dreams in Cantonese now, throws punches in his sleep, sees the world through dead man's eyes. Today is the last week of shooting. The end is close, but Jason is not sure he will survive it, not sure he can separate himself from the legend after living inside him for half a year. The director calls for a break. Crew members scatter. Jason stays on set. Does not want to go back to his trailer. Does not want to be alone with the ghost. Then someone walks onto the sound stage. A tall man, gray hair, weathered face, moving with a particular stillness that Jason recognizes immediately. He has studied that stillness, watched hours of footage trying to understand it. David Carradine. Jason freezes. His hands clench into fists without him deciding to clench them. Bruce's fists. Bruce's anger, rising up from somewhere deep inside. The producers invited Carradine. Something about legacy. Something about honoring the connection between Kung Fu and Bruce Lee. Jason was not consulted. He would have said no. David approaches the set, looks around at the recreation of Bruce Lee's school, his face unreadable. Whatever he is feeling, he keeps it hidden. Their eyes meet. Jason feels something surge through him. 20 years of borrowed anger. The anger Bruce Lee felt when Hollywood rejected him. The anger that lives in every frame of this film. The anger Jason has been channeling for 6 months. He walks toward David. Crew members notice. Conversations stop. Something is happening. David stands his ground. Does not retreat. Does not advance. Just waits. Jason stops 3 feet away. Close enough to strike. Close enough to see every line on the older man's face. You should not be here. David nods slowly. Probably not. Do you know what I have been doing for 6 months? I have been living inside Bruce Lee, eating what he ate, training how he trained, thinking what he thought. And every day, I play the scene where Hollywood takes his creation and gives it to someone else. Every day, I feel his rejection. His humiliation, his rage. Jason's voice is shaking. Not his voice, Bruce's voice. And now you walk onto my set, the man who took what should have been his, the face of everything that was stolen from him. David does not argue, does not defend. You are right. I am the face of it, whether I chose to be or not. Jason expected denial, expected excuses. The agreement throws him off balance. That is all you have to say. What do you want me to say? That I am sorry. I am. That I wish things had been different. I do. That I think about Bruce Lee every day of my life. I have for 20 years. David gestures at the set around them. You have been Bruce Lee for 6 months. I have been his shadow for 2 decades. You will finish this film, and eventually you will find your way back to yourself. I never found my way back. I am still carrying him. Jason stares at David, the anger flickering, something else emerging. You think you understand what this is like. I think we are the only 2 people in the world who understand exactly what this is like. David takes a step closer, not threatening, connecting. You're playing a man you never met, channeling someone who exists only in footage and photographs and other people's memories. You're trying to bring him back to life while knowing you can never be him. You can only be a shadow of him. He pauses. I did the same thing. For 3 seasons. I played a character Bruce Lee created, tried to honor something I did not fully understand, spent every day feeling like a fraud, wearing borrowed clothes. Jason's fists unclench. His shoulders drop slightly. Does it ever stop? The feeling that you are pretending. That you do not deserve to be here. David shakes his head. No, it never stops. You just learn to live with it. Learn to accept that you are carrying something that does not belong to you, and you try to carry it well. The crew watches from the edges of the set, the director frozen mid-conversation with the cinematographer, everyone sensing that something important is happening between these 2 men. Jason looks around at the set, at the recreation of Bruce Lee's life, at the months of work that went into bringing a dead man back to life. When I wake up in the morning, I do not know who I am anymore. I look in the mirror, and I see his face underneath mine. I throw a punch, and it is his punch. I laugh, and it is his laugh. He is inside me, and I do not know how to get him out. David nods, understanding completely. Kane did the same thing to me. For years after Kung Fu ended, I could not shake him, could not stop walking like him, talking like him, seeing the world through his philosophy. I thought I was going crazy, thought I had lost myself forever. What did you do? I stopped fighting it, stopped trying to separate myself from him. I accepted that he was part of me now, that carrying him changed who I was, and I decided that was okay. That being changed by something beautiful is not a prison. It is a gift. Jason is quiet, processing. David continues. Bruce Lee changed you, changed how you move, how you think, how you see the world. That is not a burden. That is an inheritance. He could not pass his legacy to his own children because he died too young. So he passes it to people like you, people who love him enough to become him. Even temporarily. Jason looks at David with new eyes. Not the enemy, not the thief, just another man carrying the same impossible weight. You really feel it too, the guilt, the sense that you do not deserve what you received. Every day for 20 years, every interview where I talk about Kung Fu and know that Bruce Lee should be sitting in my chair. Every fan who thanks me for introducing them to martial arts philosophy when Bruce Lee should be receiving that thanks. And how do you live with it? By honoring it, by saying his name whenever I can, by making sure the world remembers who really created what I carry, and by accepting that I cannot change the past. I can only shape how the past moves into the future. Jason exhales, the tension leaving his body, Bruce's anger draining away, leaving just Jason, just himself. For the first time in months, I have been so angry at you. For months. Every day I played scenes about the Kung Fu rejection, and I directed all that anger at you, like you were the enemy. I understand. I am an easy target. I have a face. I was there. The system that rejected Bruce does not have a face. Racism does not have a face. But I do. So I become the symbol of everything that was wrong. David reaches out, places his hand on Jason's shoulder. But I am not your enemy. I am your brother. We both loved Bruce Lee enough to try to become him. We both failed. We both carry the failure. and we both have to find a way to live with it. Jason feels tears building, the exhaustion of 6 months, the weight of becoming someone else, the relief of finally talking to someone who understands. What do I do when this film ends? How do I go back to being just Jason Scott Lee after being Bruce Lee for half a year? You do not go back. You go forward. You take what Bruce gave you and you build something new with it. Something that is yours, not his, not mine. Yours. David removes his hand, steps back. Bruce Lee was not just a martial artist. He was a creator. He took what he learned and made something new. Jeet Kune Do, a philosophy that was entirely his. You need to do the same. Take what you learned playing him and create something that is entirely yours. Jason nods slowly, understanding. The director approaches cautiously, aware he is interrupting something significant. Jason, we need to set up for the next scene. Jason looks at David one more time. Thank you for coming here, for not being what I thought you were. David almost smiles. Thank you for being angry, for caring enough about Bruce to hate the people you thought wronged him. That is love, misdirected, but still love. He turns to leave, then stops. One more thing. When you finish this film, when you feel like you're losing yourself, call me. I have been where you are. I can help you find your way back. He pulls out a card, hands it to Jason, his phone number, his address. We are the only two people who know what this feels like. We should not carry it alone. He walks off the set, disappears through the soundstage doors, back into the world where he is David Carradine and not the shadow of Bruce Lee. Jason looks at the card, then at the set around him, at the recreation of a dead man's life, at the prison he has been living in for 6 months. But it feels different now, less like a prison. More like a monastery, a place of learning, a place of transformation. He puts the card in his pocket, walks back to his mark, prepares for the next scene. Bruce Lee inside him, David Carradine's words echoing. Both prisoners, both carrying the same weight, both finding a way to turn the burden into something beautiful. Some chains cannot be broken. They can only be transformed into wings. He once said that the hardest role he ever played was not Kane, not Bill, but himself. A man caught between what he pretended to be and what he wanted to become. And maybe that is why his story still resonates, because we all know that feeling, the gap between the mask and the face beneath it. Is there a moment in your life where someone saw through your mask, or a moment where you finally took it off yourself? David Carradine walked through Hollywood for 50 years, carrying questions most people never ask out loud, about authenticity, about legacy, about what it means to be real in a world that rewards pretending. If you want to know the real stories, the ones they did not put in the interviews, you are in the right place. We are peeling back the curtain on the man behind the monk. If this story moved you, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these untold moments. Do not forget to subscribe to David Carradine, The Untold Path. We are just getting started. There are stories about Steve McQueen's secret message, about the master who waited 15 years, and about the widow who finally forgave. You do not want to miss what is coming next. Leave a comment below. What is your favorite David Carradine role? And did you know he carried this much weight behind the calm? I will see you in the next video. Walk the path.